I lost a Lamborghini sale because I had coke around my nose, and that day changed my life forever. I don't know if you ever had one of those moments that you just absolutely freeze in time, where you realise you become the exact person that you swore that you'd never be. That was me, standing in a shiny showroom surrounded by cars worth more than my entire life. And right in front of me was a man who was desperate to buy this Lamborghini Huracan. And that sale would have paid for my rent and covered my debts for the time being, and given me enough money to keep on pretending that everything I was doing was okay, when really I was stuck in a spiral of addiction and self-hatred. But what actually happened was the most humiliating, gut-punching moment of my life, because instead of closing the deal, this guy looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Mate, you've got something around your nose." Oh, when he said it, I wiped it, realised it wasn't dust, it wasn't fluff, it was dried up cocaine. White powder right there in broad daylight. Oh, I wanted the ground to swallow me up. Absolutely horrific. That kind of moment burns into your brain forever, and I'll never forget that as long as I live. But luckily, it was a moment that forced me to start to level up, and I can laugh about it now, sit and talk to you about it now. But that day, something inside me died, honestly. I've been up for 2 nights, no sleep, running on fake confidence, caffeine, cocaine, and chemical energy. That's a tongue twister. I thought I was untouchable, a high-performing salesman chasing commissions and chaos. But that was the day that I realised I wasn't high-performing. I was high-escaping. And deep down, I knew exactly what I was doing. And that's the worst part about it. When we're destroying our lives and living in these self-destructive cycles, we know what we're doing. And I wasn't addicted to the drugs. I was addicted to the escape. That silence after a bump was the illusion of power, the fake confidence that made me feel like I could sell ice to an Eskimo, when in reality, I was just chatting shit. The coke made me just talk more, and that confidence was borrowed and like every loan, it came due. That Lamborghini deal was worth more than just money. It was the mirror life shoved into my face, because here I was, selling symbols of success, Lamborghini, Ferraris, Bentleys, top-spec BMWs, while slowly destroying myself behind closed doors. I was completely living out of alignment. And I lost that job, but that job was actually half decent. But here we go. Alignment isn't about perfection. It's when your actions match your values, and when your habits reflect who you say that you are. But that version of me, he talked about success, but ran away from discipline. He wanted peace, but he kept choosing chaos. He wanted freedom, but couldn't go a day without numbing himself from reality. And that's the curse that every high performer stays stuck in self-sabotage, because you're not lazy, you're not broken, you're just misaligned. You built an identity that looks powerful, but it's powered by pain, or in my case, powdered by pain. But I lost that sale because the guy walked out without saying a word, and it was embarrassing, so embarrassing. And when the showroom door shut, so did my delusion. I stood there, hands shaking, ego shattered, realising that I was causing myself all the problems in my life. It wasn't the car industry, it wasn't bad luck, it was just me. Because when you're living out of alignment, you can't hold on to anything real. Not money, not respect, not peace. You'll just keep sabotaging it. You'll keep finding ways to destroy it before it exposes how unworthy you feel underneath it all. Because that's where it comes from, inner self-hatred and lack of self-esteem. That moment became my rock bottom. And funny enough, rock bottom's not even the worst place to be, because when you hit it, you can actually finally stop lying to yourself. There's nobody else left to blame, because you burnt so many bridges and you feel alone. But the beautiful thing is, that's where the real work begins. Because that day, I looked in the mirror and I made myself a promise. Not to never fail again, but to never lie to myself again and say that the things that I'm doing are actually good, or they're okay, when in reality they're destroying the life that I've been working so hard to build. And from that moment on, I started rebuilding my life around the 2 pillars that really matter to every man: physical and mental mastery. The mindset, I had to reprogram my brain with subconscious programming, not with motivational nonsense, but by facing my darkness. Every morning and evening, I journal, I meditate, and I confront my own bullshit. If I catch myself making excuses or lying to myself, then I write them down. The biggest drug that I quit wasn't the cocaine or the ketamine, it was the comfort. Next, movement, physical mastery. I got back in the gym, no music, no phone, just me and the weights. Punishment turned into therapy, and I love those moments. Got in the best shape of my life because every rep became a metaphor. Every drop of sweat that said I'm not that guy anymore who self-destructs and takes the easy route out. And through movement, I found clarity. Through discipline, I found peace. And when I got physical and mental mastery locked in, I earned more money than ever before. No more chasing commissions that made me feel dirty. I built alignment income. Money that flows to me because I was serving humanity instead of selling my soul. And here's the thing, when you clean up internally, the money starts flowing externally. Physical and mental mastery. You don't need to hustle harder. You need to get aligned physically and mentally. And when you align physically and mentally, life starts working for you. That white powder moment, that humiliation was actually one of the best things that ever happened to me, because it forced me to face a truth that most men never will. You can't build a life you're proud of whilst you're living out of integrity. You can't hide your misalignment forever, because it will show up in your energy, your relationships, your body, your results. Because alignment isn't about looking good, it's about feeling real. Let me say that again. Alignment's not about feeling good, it's about feeling real. Because the reason that most high-performing men stay stuck is because they're addicted to distraction. They call it ambition, they call it grind, they call it hustle. But in reality, it's just another form of escape. You're running from your own reflection, just like I was, until one day, life throws it right back at you, like a mirror, with white powder on your nose. Or trust me, when I look back, I wish the ground could have swallowed me up in that moment. It was horrific. Oh dear. I thank that man for walking away, because that day, I didn't just lose a Lamborghini soul. I might have lost a Lamborghini sale, but I gained my soul back. I started walking a path of alignment, and that path took me from addiction to living a life of abundance, from shame to strength, from chaos to clarity. And now that's what I teach, how to stop sabotaging your potential and build a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. Because you want life to feel good, look good, be good. Live a life of abundance, and that's when life starts working for you. So if this story hit you in your chest, then you need to get aligned. Download the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint. It's the exact system that I've used to rebuild my life, physical and mental mastery, and I now use with every single private client that I work with. The link's in the description. It's a free download. And if you're serious about really changing your life, click a link and book a power hour breakthrough call with me, and we'll map out exactly where you are, what's blocking you, and how to build a life so aligned and so congruent for your dreams and your goals that you don't need drugs, validation, or chaos to ever feel alive again. Because when you start to live in alignment, you become the kind of man who doesn't chase, he attracts. And when you start attracting opportunities, people, experiences just start getting drawn to you. And that's what I call being unfuckwithable. So I'll see you in the next video. But like I say, don't bother clicking on the next video if you're not going to click and download the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint, the free system that's changed my life and so many of my clients' lives. It's there in the description for you. And once you've read that and you think, yeah, I resonate with that, book a power hour breakthrough call with me and we'll go deep, one-to-one. It'll be the best thing you ever do. So I'll see you in the next video. Let's fucking go.